So, hi everybody, Kelly McGriff-Culver here, owner of Iron Flag Fitness. We just finished up our first BOD SQUAD challenge. This was a 6-week challenge where we were looking at habit formation, weight loss, building lean muscle mass, and just overall creating healthy lifestyles for people. So I have Jason here with me. Jason went through our 6-week challenge with us. Right? It was the first one kind of that you've done with us as far as nutrition goes.
The nutrition one, yes.
Yeah.
I met you guys, what was it, 3 years ago on the, it was a challenge that you guys, it was a 6-week,
like a fitness challenge.
Yeah, fitness challenge. Yeah. It was basically just kind of like an introduction into CrossFit.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's where I found my like for the gym.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And then you took a little break with us.
I did.
And then what was life like during your break, and what kind of made you come back?
Well, after I'd left, some things were starting to go well, but unfortunately things kind of took a turn for me lifestyle-wise. So for 2 of those years, you know, my health kind of deteriorated. I ended up in the hospital a couple of times. And, you know, just kind of overall life, family and stuff. Wife lost a gig. And it was just kind of like a struggle, a lot of stress. And, you know, trying to make better decisions ended up being bad or worse decisions. So gained a bunch of weight, just started feeling very self-conscious about myself, and I just felt my health getting bad. When I spent a stint in the hospital for about a week and a half, I ended up with a blood clot in my leg that had traveled up to my lungs.
Oh, man. Okay.
That was kind of compressing my heart. So it was one of the things that was kind of like one of those wake-up calls, which I've had a few in my life. So this particular one was kind of like, you know, like, hey, had you had not come in, you probably wouldn't have woke up the next day.
Oh, wow.
So that hit me really hard. And I was in a little bit of a depression, and I just kept remembering like how better or how well I felt when I was coming into the gym. And I sat down, I talked to my wife, and I told her, you know, I think I want to go back. And, you know, she was for it because she saw what was going on with me and everything. And luckily, you guys remember who I was.
Of course.
I apparently made an impression.
I can remember, forget you.
You know? And I came in, and I think I talked to Jared, and just sat down, and I told him kind of like my whole spiel. And Jared's thing, and just like you guys, since I started here, is just your first step is you walked in the door.
Right.
You know, and I kind of lost my way on that. And when it just comes to taking that first step, sometimes I would take it, and when you don't follow through, it really just doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But here is, as hard as it is, because I think I'm like one of the biggest guys that comes here. And at first it was very self-conscious. It was kind of one of the things like, you're looking around at everybody and seeing, you know, what they are and how they are and how fit everybody is. But the thing was like, you know what? They've been coming here and they've been doing this for a while. They've had their journeys, and they came from something other than what they are now. And that was always one of the big things that I kind of went through in my life, where it was like, when I wake up in the mornings, I thank God for waking me up and thank Him for another day to make myself better than what I was yesterday.
Okay.
So, you know, here, it's something that I can achieve, and it's something that I've been achieving. So, yeah, since I've been coming back, when I first got back here, you know, I thought it was like January I got here.
Yeah.
You know, coming in the door.
In the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
Kind of during COVID, because it was kind of.
We were all in the good old-fashioned masks, and it was a little cold outside.
Right.
And for those first few months, you know, I didn't really see any changes and stuff, but I felt, you know, I was motivated. I was moving.
So physically, you weren't seeing any changes, but you felt energy.
I felt a little bit
energy.
I felt the want to come in.
Okay.
And do a little bit and see where I could go with it.
Okay.
But the thing about it was, I hadn't really made any other changes.
Right.
Other than coming here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when the BOD Squad challenge came up, it was like, okay, well, here's an opportunity to see what the next step is from just coming in.
Right.
So in doing it, I think maybe the first 2 weeks, I was discouraged. I really was. I was really discouraged. I kept it in real good. I didn't want to keep telling y'all, because I'm like, no, let me get in here, let me just work out, let me focus. And around week 3 is when I saw like the first bit of weight loss. Okay. So I started off at 367, 368. Mm-hmm. And around week 3, I ended up around 361.
Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was like 7 pounds, right?
Yeah.
I remember it being, I think it was 7 pounds that you in week 3.
So, yeah, so like I say, like in that little hiatus where I was, like, Like when I left, I think I was around maybe like 330, 325, and I gained a bunch of weight. So when I came back, I was at 370.
Okay.
And I was just feeling horrible. So that from between the time I gained the weight in the BOD squad and in 3 weeks, like I really believed that I just couldn't do it. I really did. It was just in my head. Like there's no way you're gonna lose weight. Just prepare to just keep buying
like
big
that
clothes.
negative self-talk, that you're like that cycle. You
know, and it's always in the back of my head.
Sure.
It's just one of the things. Is I wake up every morning, I have my own personal demons that I go to war with every day. Every day. And it's a struggle, and sometimes they win. Yeah. Sometimes I win. I'm trying to get that win-loss record, on my side. So, but
that day you won.
That day, it changed a lot. It just changed everything in me. Like I heard the voice, but it was so much smaller. It's like I could barely even hear you anymore. It's like, no, let me get in here. And then by the time it ended, and I was here with Guy, and he threw me on the scale. It said 351. And I'm like, I got to do the math. It's like that's like 16 pounds in like 6 weeks. And I did that.
That's amazing.
I just like I said, I just fell back into the part where I just felt like I couldn't do it.
Yeah, right.
Like it just wasn't possible. Like this is just how I'm just gonna have to live the rest of my life, and it's gonna just shorten it. But now, like I feel like wow, like I'm looking forward to watching my kids graduate from college. I'm looking forward to meeting my grandkids because I know if I keep doing this, I'm just gonna get better.
And what do you think? Like, what was? So you said the first 2 weeks you were discouraged. Why? Why do you think that was?
It's because I didn't really see a change.
Okay.
Like
what changes did you make immediately? Like what was the biggest thing that you changed?
What I was eating.
Okay.
Definitely what I was eating and how I was eating. I still struggle with like set meals. Like I'm still struggling to kind of get up and eat breakfast and stuff. Okay. But I followed your advice when it was like, hey, just get something before you come in so you have that energy. Because like now, like when I'm eating things, it's not a great feeling, but when I know I eat something that's good for me, I do get a better feeling. Okay. And when I eat something I know I'm not supposed to, I get that feeling too. Like, ooh, I should have had that. Didn't settle well. And I've never had that before. Okay. You know what I mean?
You were always able to kind of eat anything.
I would just eat.
But you probably didn't understand what feeling good from food felt like.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then like now, like it's a point where I'm definitely not eating as much as I was. Cause just on how like the portions were, and it was great, like, working with Jared and Guy where it's like, they have those 5-point portions and stuff that you're supposed to have, but you don't have to be strict on that. Right. You get in how you work it as according to your schedule, and you work it on how you are, and you just, you get the foods in that you need in order to, get the energy that you need, fuel. And progress throughout the day. And like now, like I find myself like making my meals and stuff, and I barely finish them. Okay. And I'm like, it's not like when I get full, as opposed to when I got full and it was just right. Oh God. Is that like heavy feeling? Right. Yeah. Like I'm gonna explode or something like that. It's, like I don't have that anymore. Okay. And just that change alone, it's like extremely motivating. Yeah. It really is. Because like I'll get a meal and I'll take a couple bites. We went to breakfast yesterday before we took the kids to Great American and stuff, and I had me an omelet and it came out huge. And I'm like, ooh, I'm not about to eat all this. I've never said that. Wow. So like portion control, that's been huge. It really has. Okay. And then like just what I make and things like that on how I get, like I've never been into the whole measurements thing and stuff like that, but like when you watch guys' videos and stuff like that, it's like, hey man, throw it in your hand. If it's as big as your hand, it's perfect. Right. So okay, cool. I can throw me a little thigh, cook it up. That's all I need. That's easy, right? So, and the biggest thing was pushing the water. Okay. That was like the biggest surprise to me because Jared was like, yeah, you're supposed to be drinking half your body weight. And I said, huh? You're like, do you understand how much water? You know how big I am? It's like, wait a minute. That's a lot of water. But like, I'm literally like walking around with this thing. Okay. Everywhere I go. When I go into work, when I'm walking around the mall or something like that with my kids, when I'm walking through Walmart with my wife, I just got this. Yeah. And I'm just filling it up and I'm just drinking water more. So like I cut out a lot of things that I knew I didn't need anymore. I started focusing on the things that I knew that I would be able to like and I wouldn't get bored of quickly. Mm-hmm. And then just portions. And then, little small little snacks. I've been lucky enough to go and I never went into those aisles before with all the gluten-free stuff. So now I venture into there, and it's like, oh, okay, let me try these little granola bite things with no gluten and stuff.
Yeah.
And those are like some nice little snacks.
Right.
And even when I have those snacks, and when it gets to the meals, it's like, I really don't need that much in this meal because this snack just. So
kind of helps curb your appetite.
I've been finding little ways. I've been on and off here and there. But like I haven't just completely just fallen off.
Okay. So you have your days where you feel like, okay, I'll splurge a little bit, but
like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday we went to Great American. I'm like, ooh, I ain't about to eat nothing good here. But I'm like, I've been doing so good for this time. I deserve a little treat for myself. Yeah. So I didn't go crazy, nothing like that. But you know, you go to Great American, ain't a whole lot of healthy stuff available.
No, there's not. You got the funnel cakes. You got the
right. So, you know, I started off in the morning with a decent meal, you know, which kind of held me for a little while. And when I got to walking, you know, you get a little hungry.
Yeah.
Like I say, my wife has been awesome on this when it comes to water because she's been pushing that on me and my kids like crazy.
Good.
Especially yesterday.
You have a good support system.
I do.
Good.
And I'm even starting to get them involved in it too now because they have stuff that's going on with them. And I'm like, well, you know, if you change it like I did,
right.
you won't have that problem no more.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, it's been pretty cool.
What would your advice be to somebody that was like, just, it's like in the back of their mind that they want to do something like this, but they're scared to just walk in the door?
The one thing that I have actually talked to people, because I have people in my family who I've been trying to convince to try and get a little bit healthier. Some of them are a larger stature. Some of them come where I come from, and they see me because I do my little clips and my little videos and stuff from time to time. Because I want to be an inspiration to somebody. Because I was that person who just felt like, you know what's the point?
Right.
You know, it's like you give up sometimes, and the hardest thing to do is to convince yourself that you're worth it. You know what I mean? Because so many other people have an opinion about you, and it overshadows your own voice. Yeah. And my advice is just drown those voices out and listen to the one that's telling you that you want help, that you want to be better. Because it could be the loudest voice in you. It could be the loudest voice over everything. And like I said, you're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days, but bounce back. Yeah. Because the bad days don't define you. Right. They help point you in a good direction. They give you motivation because who else would you want to silence more than yourself? You know, like I've had those moments where I sit back and it's like, you're not worth it. You don't want to live forever. What is there to live past and when I'm 60 and all that other stuff? I mean, sometimes you just got to turn and tell, hey, shut up. Right. I'm not listening to you. Shut up, bro. Let me get in this gym. Let me get in here, and as hard as it's going to be, as tough as it's going to be, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But after it's over with, is it worth it after that? Right. What did you get? Did you get something from it? Because I feel like I do. Yeah. And it's like, you know, if you're not here to do it for yourself, then what's the point? Right. Right. And then, I mean, I'm sure part of you is like, if I do it for myself, it's going to rub off on my family and my kids, and like, it'll create a better life for them. It rubs off on everything in your life. Like, it changes the opinion of people who may have doubted you in the beginning. It changes, like, first of all, it's got to change you first. Right. Like, everybody else has got to be secondary. You have to beat the demons within. After that, once people see that you're capable of being more to yourself, that makes other people want to do it. That makes other people see, it's like, wow, look at the change that he's making. It's like, I would have never thought. So that starts making them think about themselves at that point. Right. Because every time somebody puts doubt on you or negativity on you, it's because they have doubt in themselves. Right. And what better way to make other people better than to make yourself better? I love it. Well, I know you've been an inspiration to a lot of people in the gym. Ugh. And I know that they watched your kind of journey through these last 6 weeks, and as your coaches, we've been super proud of you, and you're an inspiration to us. So, well, I just appreciate all the effort that you guys put in. I appreciate the thought. I appreciate the fact that every time I come in, somebody's always asking me, how's it going? Yeah. How you feeling? What is it that you got going on in your mind? And just to be able to share what it is that you're going through, and then get advice when you have those moments where, you know, that I still have my moments where the doubt kicks in, where I just don't have the energy sometimes. I can come here, and it's always I can look forward to a word or encouragement that's like, hey, come on, let's get it started. Let's get it. So I've appreciated you guys for a long time, and I appreciate this community. I appreciate everybody that I take my classes with. I appreciate everybody that I get to sit and watch taking their own classes that time. It's like, oh, I can't wait to get to where you are.
Right. I can't wait to lay on the floor in that pedal.
So this whole, that you guys have created a place here, I think, for people and whatnot to just become something more than what they could be.
Yeah.
And this is like the embodiment of what I want to be.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. So
That's definitely
I
our goal.
appreciate this place.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Well, thank you for doing this.
Of course.
All right.